jumping out a window. But I'm like, I'm up too high. So what am I supposed to do right now? What up, what up, what up? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Fabulous followers. First of all, do y'all see this outfit? So I rushed in from work, right? Had a little bit of an irritating day on and off the clock. And so I was getting ready to go for my walk. I'm like, it's recording day. I want to record before I get dark. So I changed out of my work pants into my sweatpants, thinking I was getting ready to switch and go walking. And I wasn't fit to put my work pants back on. So here we are. So this story time I'm about to drop on you is about the time I was over a female house and her baby daddy kicked the door in.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell a friend, get right back to the video.
Feel me, a house is a heart, I don't own no realty. Thought I paid my dues, but the game still billed me. They took my innocence, no surprise I pled guilty. Used to love to hit the court, now I hate to go. Used to rake leaves for money, now they pushing snow.
Alright, so let's kick this little story time off. First of all, what'll be Wednesday? Happy hump day. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. Boy, I tell you, living in your emotions and always practicing emotional intelligence, that was my original dissertation. And I refuse to touch it because I haven't mastered it. So how would I be able to argue the case, right? When I tell you I be like a roller coaster, I could be laughing so hard, then get ready to snatch somebody up, and then be crying like a baby, and then go right back to laughing so hard in the same minute. Anyway, that ain't why y'all here, right? I'm telling y'all, some of these story times I'm almost scared to do. But anyway, let's talk about today. So this particular young lady, I met in a newspaper ad. It was back before AOL, MySpace, all of that junk. It was in the newspaper. The mode of caution there was always a lot of people on there were looking for one-night stands and hookups. So you had to be very discreet. So I remember with this particular individual, I had her meet me at the bank. I think she was going to the bank. So I said, let's meet there for the first time because I wanted to meet in a public place. Because catfishing didn't even exist back then, but you could lose your life. So it was legit. She was going into the bank. She did her little transaction or whatever. And I can't remember if I trailed her back to her house then or we just talked in the parking lot and I went over her house in the days coming or whatnot. So this particular individual, like a lot of females I've dealt with currently, anyway, and I'm not gonna edit that out. Yeah, straight. Never been with a woman before. For whatever reason, she was curious because she was in a whole newspaper ad. So that's intentional, right? So fast forward the story. We start hooking up, hanging out, being intimate. Started going around her family functions. A sidebar to the story time is her aunt ended up making a pass at me. And I'm almost 100% sure nothing ever happened with that.
What?
Getting these story time ideas in my head is almost like PTSD because it makes me relive the trauma of the situations and the outcomes and the stuff I put myself through and the risk I took when I thought I was a lot more, I didn't even put no hat on. I thought I was a lot more low-key than I clearly was. Back to the story.
Few moments later.
I don't think they had any ties to each other beyond the child because he was married. So yeah, he had custody of his son, and he would bring his son to visit her and her other kids. And this particular day, his son was there, and I was there. And I don't know if she was talking different, but I want to believe, and I don't have proof, that they were probably still sexually active because of the amount of rage and force he came in with. I had a car, so he probably saw someone else's car in her driveway. She lived in an alley apartment, so you probably wouldn't intentionally see the car off the street. You would have to drive through her alley. But again, if they were still doubling back with each other, I could understand why he was really about that life. So we were, at this point, in the living room. I feel like she didn't have no furniture because I remember sitting on the floor. And we were talking, having a basic conversation. Thank goodness. And he started knocking on the door. She knew who it was. I didn't. I'm a stranger. She gave me the look of fear and proceeded to ignore the knocking. So the knocking got louder. The kids came out. She's sent them back in the room, told them to be quiet. The knocking got louder. I feel like she had to have a phone. Was he calling too? Did she turn the ringer off? Anyway, she was not going to get up and answer the door. Again, well, I told y'all it was an alley apartment, but what I didn't tell y'all is it was a high-ass flight of stairs to get in the apartment. Because my first thought, because I've had to do it before, jumping out of hotel windows when the party get turned out, you know, jumping out a window. But I'm like, I'm up too high. So what am I supposed to do right now? So y'all, thank God that was 1990 something and not 2020 something, because I wouldn't be living right now, right? We all know how that could have turned out in today's society. When I tell y'all, when you come up the stairway, the door and a railing for the stairway is probably not that much apart, right? This man had to back all the way into the railing, because he's tall, and kick the door. The first time, it didn't make. But I knew he was coming in. The second time, the door slung open. He looked at her. He looked at me. I think I had braids back then. I don't think I had started cutting my hair short yet. So I think I had braids. I know I looked masculine. But he didn't care then, and he didn't care later on when he shot his shot at me.
What the fuck?
And if you want that piece of the story, read my book or come back for another story time, because that is a story in itself. April 18th. Say left. So they went in the room, had whatever conversation they had, and I made my way out the door. Was this the last time that I talked to her? It should have been, right? It should have been. Dude was real cordial to me. He didn't say nothing to me at all at the time. We crossed paths shortly after, several times. I started going back, right? When I tell y'all, there's a lot of reasons probably I should not have been with this person. I mean, they were a great person. We were having a good time. Don't get me wrong. But when you talk about signs and flags and different type of carrying on, shout out to her though, because it was with her that I was forced to learn how to change an alternator. I knew how to do lights, get a tire, but she made me change them. But the alternator, you hear me? And I did it. It was a Buick what? 98? Or was it? Delta 88? Anyway, on another occasion, a different dude, much scarier, came to the door in an aggressive way as well. Now, he didn't kick the door in, but he beat the crap out of that mob. And he stated that he wasn't leaving until the person came out. So I went out because at this point, I had a weapon on me. Well, he did too. But neither of us went to weapons. He wanted to physically fight me, even when he realized I was a female. I knew him from dancing at the Park District. He worked at the Park District, was said to be on the sex offender list for enticing young women, and just wasn't a good dude at all, bless his heart. But he had beef with me then, and a few times after, when I would go to the, it was called the Getaway, he would have slick beef with me then too. Like, act like he wouldn't want me in, wouldn't give me no type of extras that I should have had being a performer or whatever. Just, it was never good when it came to dealing with the men she had been with. And even when we stopped talking and doubled back around for the physical, it still ended up being some drama one day with a dude. They had their own apartments, but she took me to his apartment to have sex and then tell me that's where we were. So I respected him being pissed off because I was pissed off too. He didn't kick the door in. It wasn't no hostile situation like that. But what do you know? Oh, he was a mailman, and his coworker put him on, or something like that, how he found out. Anyway, that's that story time. Comment down below if y'all would have jumped out the high window or y'all would have just faced it. Because at that point, really, it wasn't my issue, right? This female is moving like this. But little town I was in, most of these women being straight, they even gave me this bad name. Like, I was known as the initiator for a while. It was so not like that. But again, another story time, another story. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell a friend to tell a friend. To the next one.
And you still gotta feel me. A house is a heart, I don't own no realty. Thought I paid my dues, but the game still build me. They took my innocence, no surprise I pled guilty. Used to love to hit the court, now I hate to go. Used to rake leaves for money, now they pushing snow.